Once upon a time, there were three very different little girls who grew up to be three very different women, but they had three things in common. They're brilliant, they're beautiful, and they work for this anonymous millionaire. Who is he? You know his name, Charlie. Can you believe it's been 25 years since this came out? Now, of course, 6 years ago, I did a back to back review of this along with its sequel. But now, let's see if I can do a better job with a re review, well, of just the first one for its 25th anniversary. So strap yourselves in as I re-review Charlie's Angels. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. I'm the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a solo re-review of the 2000 spy action comedy flick Charlie's Angels, released by Columbia, directed by McG in his feature film directorial debut after he's directed numerous music videos, written by Ryan Rowe, Ed Solomon, and John August. It's the first film in the franchise, which serves as a continuation of the TV series of the same name, created by Ivan Goff and Ben Roberts, that ran on ABC from 1976 to 1981. Unlike the original series, the film features more comic elements. The film stars Cameron Diaz, Drew Barrymore, and Lucy Liu as the titular characters, along with Bill Murray, Sam Rockwell, Tim Curry, and Kelly Lynch. The oh yeah, and Crispin Glover. Apologies, plus some special appearances. The film was released on this day, November 3rd, 2000. Henceforth, today is the film's 25th anniversary. Just about a week and a half after it made its premiere at the Mann's Chinese Theater. Though it got mixed reviews, it still did very, very well. Alright, here we go. Nally Cook, Dylan Sanders, and Alex Monday are the Angels, three women who work as private investigators together for unseen millionaire Charlie Townsend. Charlie uses speakers in his offices to communicate with the Angels, and his assistant Bosley works with them directly when needed. Charlie assigns the Angels to find Eric Knox, a software genius who created a revolutionary voice recognition system and heads his own company, Knox Enterprises. He's believed to have been kidnapped by Roger Corwin, who runs the communication satellite company Red Star. The Angels infiltrate a party held by Corwin, spying a suspicious looking man that they had previously seen from surveillance videos of Knox's kidnapping, dubbing him the Thin Man. The Angels chase him down and fight him. He gets away, but the Angels find Knox safely tied up nearby. After the Angels reunite Knox along with his business partner, Vivian Wood, Charlie explains that they must determine where the Thin Man has stolen Knox's voice recognition software. The Angels infiltrate Red Star headquarters, fool the security system, and plant a device in the central computer to enable them to explore it remotely. They retire for the night after giving Bosley the laptop computer that communicates with the Red Star computer. Dylan takes up Knox's offer to spend the night with him, and they end up having a little sex. Afterwards, he betrays her. Simultaneously, attacks are made on Nally and Alex. Bosley is kidnapped by Vivian, and Corwin is murdered by the Thin Man. Knox tells Dylan his kidnapping was faked to get the Angels to help him access the Red Star satellite network. He plans to use it along with his voice recognition software to find and kill Charlie, who Knox asserts killed his father in the Vietnam War. Dylan escapes and reunites with Nellie and Alex, who also survived their attacks. They approach Charlie's office just as the building explodes. They find the radio receiver that Bosley is able to communicate through via a tooth implanted radio transmitter, which they used early on the party scene. He provides enough information of where he's being held captive to allow Nellie to deduce his location, an abandoned lighthouse. With help from Dylan's friend Chad, the Angels stealthily approach by boat. Upon finding Knox, Dylan is captured by his henchmen, tied up and gagged. Now for the Rest of this film and its ending. Now, you know the procedure like always. You have 5 seconds to stop this video at once. Go to the description box below and fast forward to the time below. As I count down now, if you've seen this movie already, please continue. Okay, you've been warned. The Angels are too late to stop Knox from determining Charlie's location, though they rescue Bosley while Dylan fights off her captors. They come together to defeat Vivian, the Thin Man, and other assorted henchmen, but Knox blows up the lighthouse and flies off in an attack helicopter towards Charlie's house. Bosley helps the Angels board it, where Alex reprograms the missile to have it shoot backwards, blowing up the helicopter and killing Knox while the Angels land safely. Seeing the opportunity to finally meet Charlie in person, the Angels enter the nearby beach house that Knox had targeted, but he has already left. He remotely congratulates them on a job well done through another speaker and treats them and Bosley to a vacation. Charlie also tells them that Knox's father was an undercover double agent. He was discovered and killed by the enemy, but not by him. When he speaks to the Angels by telephone on the beach, they ask if they could ever meet him in person. Dylan suspects she sees him nearby talking into a cell phone, but doesn't tell the group, opting to raise a toast to Charlie instead. Bosley playfully douses the Angels with his drink, and they chase him towards the ocean. From afar, a silhouetted Charlie watches them and walks off. End of story. So, what did I think of Charlie's Angels? I love this movie. Well, I never watched the show much. I'd seen a little bit of it, but not a whole lot. I know the show was a big series, one that made Farrah Fawcett a household name, an instant celebrity in no time. Only in the first season, if I'm not mistaken. But it did have lots of other familiar names and what have you. But I absolutely did love this movie. When I first watched it, I knew this would be awesome. This is actually one of the great films of 2000 that I really did enjoy. I mean, I know I've seen other films, but this was from late 2000. Even though we had already gotten some good films from the summer long before this, like X-Men and Mission Impossible 2, and heck, even Gladiator, this film still proved to be an awesome blast. The film went on to become a hit, making $264 million worldwide on its $93 million budget. 3 years later, a sequel followed in Charlie's Angels Full Throttle, which also got mixed reviews, but kind of just missed being its predecessor by that much. But I'll re-review that another day. Like I said, this was pretty good. At the box office, it opened on top, surpassing Meet the Parents, after it had been #1 for the whole month of October. Now, Rotten Tomatoes has a score of 68, saying mixing tongue-in-cheek cheesecake with glossy action set pieces, the film is slick and reasonably fun despite its lack of originality. Well, that may be, but I still love the movie. Metacritic has a score of 52. Now, for some reviews, Roger Ebert wrote for the Chicago Sun-Times, called it a movie without a brain. The film is like the trailer for a video game movie, lacking only the video game and the movie, and only give it a half a star. What a shame. Let me find a much better one. Now, David Elstein for Slate wrote, despite expecting to hate the film, he found he loved it, calling it a charming, hyper energetic, and wittily self aware action comedy about gorgeous girls. Entertainment Weekly's Owen Gleiberman gave it a B grade with particular praise for Cameron Diaz's performance, saying not just an angel, that's a star. Yes, this was from, she was still just slightly new, even after making her breakthrough in The Mask and then appearing in numerous other films, including There's Something About Mary. But anyway, Rolling Stone's Peter Travers called the film a guilty pleasure and praised the wire work and fight choreography of Chung Yang Yun, but was critical of the thin plot, but said it is the film's quirky sense of mischief which sets it apart from lesser television to film adaptations. Yeah, I agree. Now, of other responses, Guillermo del Toro commented while he was making Blade 2, he said that while films like this had helped to popularize the wire fu style of fighting choreography in Western films, they also served as a nail in the coffin and prompted many filmmakers to want to get back to more hard hitting action. In his commentary, the moment you see Cameron Diaz flying in the air and you know that she is incapable of flying in the air and kicking five guys, you realize that it is done using wires. I mean, the film was great, but its fighting style was almost satirical. Well, that's understandable. But I will say I loved the action sequences. They were so awesome, and this proved to be a big one. Why have you? I mean, well, sorry, I didn't mean to sound like a broken record, but it did pretty well. I mean, even though this was released at the time that Sony, Columbia's parent company, already had another kick-ass chick on the tube with Pamela Anderson on their hit syndicated show VIP, and then 2 years later, MGM would follow with their cult hit of a show, She Spies, which wasn't quite close to like the original Charlie's Angels, but it kind of felt like this film though in its sequel. Anyway, Charlie's Angels was a blast. Its score was composed by Edward Shearmur, who does an exceptionally good job, as well as do a great mix on the theme song to the actual series itself, which is absolutely awesome. It's got a cool soundtrack as well, as it, of course, included Destiny Child's big hit, Independent Women Part 1. Yes, this was just shortly after they had made it big, after they had recently burned up the scene with Say My Name. And then Jumpin', of course, and that was just right at when the group became a trio. This also had some other popular tunes, mostly songs from the 70s and 80s. We had see Leo Sayers, You Make Me Feel Like Dancing, and True from Spandau Ballet. There was also even Heart's big hit from the 70s, Barracuda, Turning Japanese by the Vapors. That was an 80s hit. Another 70s hit, Brandy, You're a Fine Girl from Looking Glass. Yeah. Okay, now here's what I'm talking about. I think this was probably the theme of what we were hearing in the intro. Charlie's Angels 2000, which was done by the act Apollo 440, who actually that same year actually did an updated version of the original Spider Man cartoons theme for the video game released by Activision on the PlayStation. Of course, that also got ported to other consoles. Well, and another fun song, Tangerine Speedo by Caviar, which is the last song you hear in the movie. Well, you do hear in a little bit of a scene between Bosley and Vivian Wood before she goes, you know. Of course, that song would also be featured in The Cat in the Hat. But there's other songs in the movie. Oh yeah, and there's also Angel's Eye by Aerosmith. That's a pretty kicking song. Anyway, soundtrack's pretty good. Anyway, of course, it got a sequel in 2003, and there was to be a third and fourth one, but even after number two, the ideas were canceled, and they decided to try with another new series, and which that failed big time, and then they tried a new follow-up film in 2019, which did okay. For our cast, we have a good cast. Cameron Diaz is Natalie, and I must admit she's absolutely superb. Drew Barrymore is Dylan, very good. Little firecracker there. Lucy Liu is Alex. Yeah, loved her. She was so amazing. I mean, I especially did enjoy this, especially the intro scene, which unfortunately kind of got a little argued over that, well, over the opening sequence on the plane, which was, they say, was argued because it was inspired by the British movie Deadlier Than a Male from 1967, which I've never heard of it, nor have I seen it. Well, that's what my source says. But anyway, very good performances by the three main gals. Mm-hmm. Playing Bosley's Bill Murray, I gotta give him credit. He was awesome. Playing Eric Knox is Sam Rockwell. Kelly Lynch plays Vivian Wood. They're both good. Crispin Glover is the Thin Man. Real good. We had special appearances from Matt LeBlanc, who was still big on TV's Friends at the time, as Alex's boyfriend Jason, and Luke Wilson as Pete, Natalie's love interest. We have Tim Curry as Roger Corwin, good, and Tom Green, who would later have a little bit of a short marriage to Barrymore as Chad, a lovesick fisherman whom Dylan's dating. Yeah. We also even have appearances. Oh yeah, and we also have the voice of John Forsythe as Charlie. Of course, that's the original voice actor. Well, the voice of him, just like from the show. We also have appearances from LL Cool J as Mr. Jones, who we see is Dylan in disguise, but you probably knew that already. We even have a hot chick playing Corwin's girlfriend, and it's former Playboy playmate Karen McDougal. I didn't notice that was her. And Melissa McCarthy, yes, you heard me correctly, as a secretary at Red Star named Doris. Yes, yes, you heard me correctly. Long before she became a big star on TV's Mike and Molly, or even appear in movies you may or may have hated, like The Heat or Spy, or yes, even Ghostbusters 2016, which again, I'm an understanding person. I know a lot of people don't like that, but you heard me correctly. Yeah. The list goes on. But anyway, Charlie's Angels, I'd say if you want to get some action, you gotta get some action. So would I recommend this film? I'd say hell yeah, go for it. Now another good thing another thing I like this was directed by uh hang on, by Joseph McGinty McNichol, alias McG, who was already well known for direct. This was his first feature film. After this, he would later go on to direct films like We Are Marshall and Terminator Salvation, as well as The Babysitter and its sequel for Netflix. Last year, he recently directed another film for Netflix. Well, he actually recently did two other flicks, Family Switch and Uglies. Now, of course, he was already known for directing numerous music videos. Among some of those have included, let's see, Sublime Santeria, Fly by Sugar Ray, The Way by Fastball, and One Week by the Bare Naked Ladies. Yes, of course, after this was released, he founded his company Wonderland Sound and Vision, which of course would work on the sequel to this, as well as work on numerous other programs like Chuck and Shadow Hunters, as well as, well, be co-producing or executive producing to shows like The OC and Supernatural as well. So now you know about Charlie's Angels 2000. I love the movie. I'd say definitely give it a go. What did you think of Charlie's Angels? Let me know in the comments section below. If you like this video, consider clicking the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel, and you know the rest. Join me next time when I bring to you a spoiler-free review of Jurassic World Rebirth. So if you like this, check out my reviews for these other TV shows that were turned into films after Charlie's Angels. In the upper left-hand corner is my review of The Dukes of Hazzard from 2005. The upper right-hand corner is my review of The A-Team from 2010, which also celebrate an anniversary this year. It's 15th to be exact. Or go to the bottom left-hand corner and see my spoiler-free review of The Fall Guy from last year in 2024. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying see ya.